Well, good morning, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Papa Keith's Kitchen. You probably recall yesterday that I had some leftover rice, and I was sitting there pondering in my chair, what am I going to make with it? Well, I think I'll make some rice bread. My mother used to make that, and it always was pretty tasty. Let's see if we can put some together here. The ingredients here that I'm using in it is, I like garlic, so I'm putting some garlic in, and some Italian seasoning. Got about 1.5 cups of rice. I got some olive oil, and I've got my yeast, which is pretty well working. I used some half and half and a tablespoon of sugar. And I got over here in the corner some salt. So let me see if I can dig out some flour. Just opening up a bag here. And we'll dump about 2.5 cups of flour in there. Dump in some olive oil. I'm going to dump in some garlic. I'm going to dump in some Italian seasoning. And some salt. All right. Now let's add the rice. Now this is where I get my hands sticky. I'm not working in a bowl this time. Get that all mixed in there. Okay. Now I'm going to add my yeast in half and half, right in there. Get a spatula here, make sure I get it all out of there. Yeah, there we go. Put that aside. Now let's work it into a dough if we can. We might have to add a little water to it if it's too dry. I'm going to put in a little bit more water. Pretty sticky stuff. Alright, let me see if I can get it down here on the counter. Mother had a lot of good recipes, you know. She enjoyed cooking for us, and we enjoyed eating it. Put a little more flour down there on that. She was a wonderful woman. I can recall back, I was a youngster. I probably was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. I guess I was younger than that. Well, I don't know. We were living out by Fairfax Falls there in Fairfax, and my mother had one of these things that, believe it or not, you could hitch your kids out so they wouldn't run off. Sears and Roebuck sold them. It was a harness. So she put me out on that front porch. Went in and started doing whatever chores she was going to be doing, and I decided I wanted to get out of that harness. So somehow I managed to unhook that hook. Well, we had some rabbits down back that were in the pen, and Dad's black and tans that he used for hunting. So I went down there and I took a look at the rabbits for a while. Then I crawled into the doghouse with one of them black and tans, and I fell asleep. Well, of course my mother came out and saw the harness was unhooked and I was missing. Well, what she did is ended up calling the fire department. And they started a search. And they were out there searching. When I woke up, I could hear voices. So I stuck my head out of the doghouse and crawled out and went over by the fence, which was Fairfax Falls. There was a fence along the river. And there was a fireman there, and I asked him, what are they doing? They said, well, we were looking for a little boy that might have fell in the river. Then I could hear a scream coming from the porch. It was my mother. I said, boy, I'm going to be in trouble for this. And she came down, she was crying and grabbed a hold of me and held me and held me. And I said, maybe I'm not in trouble. So, just a little interesting tidbit about moms, you know, they always like to protect their young. I guess I could get into some mischief now and then and made her worry. Okay, so I got that all done, as you can see. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back into a pan here, and I'm going to let it rise for a couple hours. So after it rises, I'm going to punch it down. And I'm going to put it into a pie plate, a glass pie plate. And we'll bake it, and we'll see how it comes out. Who knows? Hopefully it'll come out good. So I'll catch you all a little bit later, and thanks for watching. Well, it's done. Oh, that looks so yummy. Nice and brown. Looks delicious, doesn't it? I'm gonna have to try some.